Welcome to the last installment of SPAMtember. Well, not the last installment. It's the last recipe featured for SPAMtember for 2023. But tomorrow night, we decide who gets the Spam cutter, the luncheon meat cutter. So one lucky person, a random person from a random SPAMtember video will be picked from the comment section, and it might be you. So just make sure you've watched every single SPAMtember recipe video and commented on them. This is so handy. I use it a lot. So because it's the last one, I wanted to make something special. Now, I really enjoyed the recipes I made this month. My favorite, believe it or not, was the Impossible Spam and Swiss pie. It was like a crunchy outside of a quiche. It was just absolutely delicious. And of course, I love the breakfast bombs. And so did my grandkids, so they went really quick. I have to make some more and freeze them. But today, I wanted to have kind of a finale, right? So I'm going to try something I've never made before. So that could be great, or it could be disastrous. I'm going to try making crepes, or as some people say, crepes. But you know, it's not crepe paper that you string for a birthday party. It's crepe paper. So I think it's pronounced crepe. But whatever it's pronounced, it is a great vehicle for savory inclusions or sugary dessert. But today, because this is a SPAMtember recipe, we are going to feature a savory one. Yep, Spam and Swiss and onion crepes. Wish me luck. Alton Brown recipe. So we're going to put in our 2 eggs. Our milk, which is 3/4 a cup. Half a cup of water. Flour. Oh, I had 2 cup measures in there. Well, it's still a cup of flour. And we're going to add our 3 tablespoons melted butter and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Just a little salt. And then I am adding some of my fresh herbs. I'm adding thyme that's cut up, but you don't have to. You don't have to add anything. You don't have to listen to this whole thing. You only have to do it for maybe 7 seconds. They say if you overdo it, you're gonna encourage gluten to form. So let's see how it looks. Well, I think it's looking pretty good. Now we're going to put it in the refrigerator for at least an hour. Now, I did a lot of research before I'm starting to make these crepes, and it seemed a bit intimidating, but you know, if you can make them in a blender, that's not bad. The ingredients are real commonplace, so maybe this won't be as hard as I thought. Another Spam trivia segment. And today we're going to talk about the popularity of Spam over the whole world. Do you know what country consumes the most Spam other than the United States? South Korea. That's right. And it's also huge in the Philippines. In fact, Hormel donated 30,000 pounds of it after the 2009 typhoon. And each person on Guam eats an average 16 cans per capita. Pretty amazing. But in the United States, Hawaii eats the most Spam. And you know that if you ever visited the island, it's on the menus for breakfast and luncheon plates, and it is featured in a lot of different dishes. Now, interesting enough, Hawaii is known as the happiest state in the United States. It has the lowest share of adult depression. Of course, that could be because of all the sun outside, right? But did you know also that it has the highest life expectancy at birth of any of the other 50 states? They like to say it's because active lifestyle and sun and yeah, but maybe it's because of all the spam they consume. Who knows? Now there are also fun festivals over the years for spam. A big one in Austin, Texas was Spamorama. And for 12 years, you didn't hear anything about it again, and then it came back in 2022, and they always had this recipe contest, and there were some fantastic recipes made. But I don't think they had Spamorama 2023. And of course, the biggest one is in Waikiki. It's the Spam Jam. And I mean, they have 30 plus restaurants that feature unique, and I'm talking about unique, like even Spam ice cream recipes. And people flock for that. And there's a lot of people dressing up like Spam, but people really have a good time. And if you want to go to a Spam festival, go to Waikiki. So I use my Spam cutter, and half of it here, I just have it in the slices because I'll fry up some for sandwiches tomorrow. And then the other half, I've sliced it again, so we have pieces like this. If you want to, you could dice it smaller, but I think this will work out fine. This is the filling for our crepes. We've got our Spam sliced here, a half an onion diced up here, and then here's our shredded cheese. I use the boar's head here, which is really just a more expensive type of Swiss cheese. So if you can just find Swiss, that's fine too. And you may want to use your whole Spam can. You might want to have a whole onion, whole 8 ounces of cheese. It all depends on how many mouths you're trying to feed and how many crepes you make. Okay, you want your pan medium heat, and then butter it up. Let that warm up just a little. Then lift up your pan, pour in your 1/4 cup of your crepe mixture, and as you do that, swirl around the pan so it goes around the whole bottom. Sounds pretty easy, doesn't it? We're letting our pan heat up. I just thought I'd show you. Can you see the inside there? It's got little bubbles. Okay, I'm gonna grease the pan. Maybe it's a little hot. Turn it down just a little. Okay, first one. Oh, you know, they say your first one's never quite right. I think that's true. See, we got bubbles in it. Yeah. It's a little too hot of a pan. Let it cook up a minute anyway. They say it's just like a pancake. Your first one's never going to be that good. Starting to crisp up. Well, that doesn't look too bad, does it? Not for a first try. Nice and brown. Okay, do you think our third one will be a charm? No matter how much I turn it down, it still seems like its burner's awful hot. Okay, better. I'll be back when I get these all done. I think I've got it now. Well, by the third crepe, I had mastered it. And I was really proud of myself. So here are our lovely crepes. I think it made 10 or 11, not quite sure. While you're making your crepes, let's put our onions and just a little butter. There we go. And we just want to make them a little translucent. My husband hates chewy, rawish onions. Okay, we're going to add our Spam in there. Twist it up a bit. Okay, we're getting it kind of browned up. Almost done. Place one down here. Just going to warm it up a little. Not too bad, is it? Let that cheese melt. Time for a taste test. Now, I'm trying to make them look more crepey, but I think I ended up making them look more like a burrito. But really, my understanding, if you're in Paris and there's a street vendor, they make them more like quesadillas, where they put the filling in one half, fold it over, then fold it over again into fourths, and then put it in a wrap, and you can just eat it and go down the street. So that's one way to do it too. But to me, that looked more like a quesadilla than a crepe. So I did my best. So here it is. Doesn't it look good? Let's take a big bite. So good. One more bite. These are really good, and they're fancy. These are so good. So I urge you to try making some Spam and cheese crepes. Ooh la la. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and all the videos of SPAMtember. And I really want to thank all the channels that participated. I appreciate it so much. And I think if you've been watching every single video, you realize how versatile Spam really is. A lot of people put up their nose to Spam, but you know what? It can be darn good depending on how you make it. So make sure you tune in tomorrow night for the contest winner of the Spam luncheon cutter. And I hope you have a Spam-terrific day.